Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are well. So welcome back. As promised, today we are going to solve some numerical problems from the mole concept. That is mole concept related with stoichiometry and with empirical formula. If you haven't seen the videos on the mole concept, stoichiometry and empirical formula, you can just click on the I button and you can just check those videos. So let's start. So our first question today is that nitric oxide, that is NO, is there and it is reacting with oxygen to form nitrogen dioxide. Okay, that is NO2. You can see that nitric oxide reacting with oxygen and you will be getting nitrogen dioxide. Now before solving the question, you should see that whether the equation is balanced or not. If equation is not balanced, you cannot solve the question based on the mole concept and stoichiometry. So you have to see that. So like this equation is already balanced, you can just check. Now what volume of nitrogen dioxide, that is they are asking about the product, would be formed when 100 centimeter cube of nitric oxide, that is this NO, is reacting with 50 centimeter cube of oxygen under same condition of temperature and pressure. Now for such type of question, I told you earlier also that whenever such kind of questions are there and two reagents value will be given, like the volume of both the reagents is given to you, that is 100 centimeter cube and 50 centimeter cube of nitric oxide and oxygen, then in such case first you need to determine the limiting reagent. Okay, now we will check that very easily. Like you can see in this reaction that 2 moles of nitric oxide require 1 mole of oxygen. Okay, in terms of volume also, if you want to calculate, it will be like 2 into 22400 centimeter cube of nitric oxide require 22400 centimeter cube of oxygen. You can also use volume because we are using the volume as we are provided with the volume in this question, so we are using volume here. You can only write VOL, vol, so because the value is going to be cancelled anyhow. So let's see, if suppose 100 centimeter cube of the nitric oxide is there, then how much amount of the oxygen is required? So it will be 22400 divided by 2 multiplied by 22400 multiplied by how much? 100. It's simply the unitary method. Okay, so what we will find that it is 50 centimeter cube of oxygen which is required for the reaction. And if you see the question also, in the question also they have mentioned that 50 centimeter cube of the oxygen they have given. It means the reagent is exactly the same as per requirement. Both the reagent are in the exact number. It means they are going to be consumed equally. Okay, and they will give the product. So in such case there is no limiting reagent, or we can say both are limiting reagent, or we can relate any of the reagent directly with the product. Suppose we relate here nitric oxide with the product, like 2 volume, I am using volume now, not 22400 centimeter cube because that is the same thing. 2 volume of nitric oxide is giving how many volume of the nitrogen dioxide? 2 volume of nitrogen dioxide. Okay, that is same. So it means that if we have 100 centimeter cube of nitric oxide, we will be getting, that is 2 divided by 2 multiplied by 100, or we can say the 100 centimeter cube of nitrogen dioxide. So that is going to be our answer. So that is how we have calculated this question. So you understand, as both the values, that is both the values means both the reagent value is given to you. So we first find that which is limiting reagent. In this case we find that their number is exactly equivalent. So both can be used as a limiting reagent, or there is no limiting reagent at all. So we are relating any of the reactant with the product and we can find the answer like this. Okay, so that is one type of question. Now we move to the second type of the question. Now In the second type of the question, you will see what volume of propane, C3H8 is given to you. C3H8 is propane. So what volume of propane burned for every 100 centimeter cube of oxygen reacting in this reaction? Okay, if you can see this reaction, that is propane is burning in presence of oxygen. You can also say that combustion of the hydrocarbon is taking place here. Whenever any hydrocarbon like C3H8 here, that is propane, will undergo combustion, the products are going to be carbon dioxide and water. That you should remember, because that will be useful to you for writing many hydrocarbon reactions. So if the propane is undergoing combustion, you will be getting this product. So they are asking that what is the volume of propane burned for 100 centimeter cube of oxygen. Now if you see the equation, that 5 moles of oxygen, or we can say 5 mole means 5 into 22.4, or we use centimeter cube, so it will be 22400 centimeter cube of oxygen, okay, is reacting with how many moles of the propane? Only 1, okay. So it will be reacting with 1 mole of C3H8. 1 mole is equivalent to 22400 centimeter cube. Why we are using 22400 centimeter cube? Because it is in terms of its volume, okay. Now as 100 centimeter cube of oxygen is given, so we will be finding our answer in that is in 100 centimeter cube, how much is going to be there? That is going to be 22400 divided by 5 multiplied by 22400 multiplied by 100. Simply again unitary method, you will be cancelling the value and you will find that final answer is 20 centimeter cube of propane, that is C3H8, okay. So that is how we can calculate the value, okay, understand. Now we will move to our next question. Student, now let's move to the next question, that is question number 3rd. Now what is the volume of 7.1 gram of chlorine at STP, okay, that is at STP, what is the volume of 7.1 gram of chlorine is there, they're asking. Then there is a second part, what is the mass of 56 centimeter cube of carbon monoxide at STP. Now this is again related to the mole concept question, so we are going to solve it one by one. Let's see. Now what is the volume of 7.1 gram of chlorine at STP? So when they are saying at STP and they are asking about the volume, now when we say chlorine is having the atomic mass equivalent to 35.5, okay. So when 35.5 is there, it means under STP condition, this mass of chlorine will be having a volume of 22.4 liter, okay. That is we have done earlier, you know that, because 1 mole is equivalent to the atomic mass, and atomic mass at STP will be having a volume of this much. Now they are asking in 7.1 gram, okay. So when 7.1 gram at STP, we have to calculate the volume, so it should be 22.4 divided by 35.5 multiplied by 7.1, okay. So when you divide it, it will be coming like 5, and then when you calculate, it will be coming 4 8. So it will be 4.48 centimeter, sorry, not centimeter, liter, okay, at STP, okay. So that is how we can calculate the volume and the mass relationship question. Now one more question is there of the similar type, but here the mass you have to find and the volume is provided to you. That is, they are asking what is the mass of 56 centimeter cube of carbon monoxide at STP. So as we have to find the mass, now we are going to take the volume on the other side, that is we are using unitary method. Now at STP, if we are talking about 1 mole of any substance, that is we are talking about carbon monoxide, so 1 mole will be equivalent to how many centimeter cube? 22400 centimeter cube, as they have given the question, that is a volume in terms of the centimeter cube. So we are converting the liter into the centimeter cube. So this much volume will be equivalent to its molecular mass, that is carbon monoxide is there, so we are going to calculate its molecules. So carbon, that is 12, oxygen, that is 16, so it will be equivalent to 28 gram of carbon monoxide. Simple. Then what volume they have asked? They have asked for 56 centimeter cube. So for 56 centimeter cube, it will be 28 divided by 22400, okay, and multiply by 56. So like that it is going to be. So we have to calculate it. So it will be coming like 28 800, then 100, 7 by 100, or we can say 0.07 gram. Okay, so that is how we can calculate the mass of the substance in this much volume. Okay, so in this much volume the mass was 28 gram. All these conditions should be STP as given in the question. So in 56 centimeter cube it will be like that. So that is how the question related to the volume and the mass relationship we can solve. Okay, now we move to the one more question. Now this is related to the empirical formula. Okay, we have discussed already in the previous video. Now a compound contains 40% of carbon. So we are going to write one by one. Carbon is there, hydrogen is there, and one other element is there, that is oxygen as given in the question. Now the percentage of carbon which is given to you is 40. Percentage of the hydrogen which is given to you is 6.67, and of the oxygen it is given 53.33%. Okay, so we'll be writing their atomic masses now, that is 12, that is 1, and that is 16. Now we take the ratio of the percentage to their atomic mass, that is 40 divided by 12, 6.67 divided by 1, and 53.33 divided by 16. Let's find the answer. It will be 3, 12, 3, 36, 4, 3.33 approximate. It will be coming 6.67, and it will be 3.33. So like that the values are coming 3.33, 6.67 and 3.33 respectively. So we have to identify the smallest out of all. Okay, so out of all the smallest one is 3.33 only. So we will be finding the simplest ratio using this. So 3.33 divided by 3.33, it will be 1. 6.67 divided by 3.33, although it will come 2 point something, but we have to round off the value here, so it will be coming to the nearest 0, that is 2 again, and then again 3.33 divided by 3.33, that is coming equivalent to 1. Okay, so that is how we can divide it. Now the empirical formula is ready, that is EF is equivalent to, that is carbon is 1, hydrogen is 2, oxygen is 1, so it is CH2O. Okay, so that is how we have calculated the empirical formula. Now you have to calculate the molecular formula also if the vapor density is given. Now when I told you earlier also in the previous video that when vapor density is given, then you have to find the molar mass using this. Okay, so our molar mass, I am writing here, molar mass will be equivalent to twice of vapor density, that is twice of 30, that is 60. Okay, so now our molar mass is ready. So when we know the molar mass, then we can calculate N, that is the formula is molar mass divided by empirical formula mass. Now what is the molar mass? Molar mass is 60. Empirical formula mass you have to calculate from this formula, carbon 12, hydrogen 2, 14, oxygen 16, 30. So it will be also coming 30, so the value is coming 2. Okay, if sometime you are dividing and you in other question maybe sometime what can happen, here the value can also come in decimals, then you have to round off the value, okay, to the nearest 0. Now your molecular formula, that is I am using m dot f, that is equivalent to the empirical formula whole n, that is CH2O whole 2. So our molecular formula will be C2H4O2. That is going to be our molecular formula. So that is how we can calculate the molecular formula of the compound. Okay, so this is the way. Now we are going to solve one more question which is related to the molecular formula, empirical formula also, and is also related to the percentage composition in the compound. So we are going to see that. So it's a very interesting. That's the last question. So let's see this question. That what is this question all about? Now a compound containing hydrogen and carbon. There is a compound which is made up of the carbon and hydrogen basically. So in the compound containing the hydrogen and carbon, on combustion gives 3.38 gram of CO2. Okay, means the compound is having carbon and hydrogen only and it is undergoing a combustion. So when it is undergoing combustion, I told earlier in the question also that whenever the hydrocarbon is undergoing combustion, you will be getting carbon dioxide and water. So 3.38 gram of carbon dioxide and 0.690 gram of water is going to be obtained. So when this much amount of the compound is going to be obtained under STP condition, if you see the conditions are going to be STP, 11.6 gram of the gas, okay, 11.6 gram of this gas means the compound will be having the volume of 10 liter. It occupies 10 liter means the volume is having 10 liter. That is under STP condition. So you have to calculate its empirical and molecular formula. So let us be a different question. So here nothing is given, like the percentage is also not given to you and the volume is also not given, it's like other things are also not given to you. So you need to find the empirical formula first, and after finding the empirical formula you can find the molecular formula. Now it's very easy, as you know that compound containing the hydrogen and carbon, so we can calculate the percentage by using this. Now if you see CO2, that is carbon dioxide gas, because if they have given the mass of the carbon and hydrogen, then it is easy to calculate. We can directly find the number of moles and we can do it. But here they have given the mass of carbon dioxide and water. So we have to find the mass of the carbon and hydrogen from the water molecule and carbon dioxide. So how we will do? So for carbon, as you can see, 44 gram of the carbon dioxide gas, because molecular mass of the carbon dioxide is 44. How much amount of carbon is there? 12 gram of carbon is going to be there, okay, according to the formula. So in 3.38 gram of same CO2, the amount of the carbon will be 12 divided by 44 multiplied by 3.38, okay. So we can calculate 4, 3, 4, 11. So it will be coming 0.307, okay, or we can multiply it, so it will be coming like 0.921, okay. So this is the amount of the carbon we are having. Now let's calculate the mass of the hydrogen from the same. Hydrogen, we know that in water, that is the molecular mass of water is 18 gram. In 18 gram of H2O, 2 gram of hydrogen is present according to the formula. Now in 0.690 gram, okay, of the H2O, the amount of hydrogen will be 2 divided by 18 multiplied by 0.690, okay. You can calculate. So it will be coming 0.07 0.076 gram of hydrogen is there, okay. So now we know the amount of the carbon and amount of the hydrogen. Now what we will do, we will find the percentage of the carbon and hydrogen from the given mass. Now total mass of the compound will be the sum of the mass of the carbon and hydrogen, and that is going to coming equivalent to what? 0.921 plus 0.076, approximate 0.99, or we can take it as equivalent to 1, approximate we can take it, okay. That is the total mass. So the percentage of carbon will be 0.921 divided by 1, which is the total mass of the compound, multiplied by 100. So automatically it will be becoming 92.1%, okay. That is going to be there, and the percentage of hydrogen will be you can take directly 100 minus 92.1%. That is coming equivalent to 7.9% approximate. So that is how we have calculated the percentage of the carbon and hydrogen. Now we will be utilizing this percentage of carbon and hydrogen to find the empirical formula. You understood this thing? That first what we did, we use the mass of the carbon dioxide of 1 mole of carbon dioxide will be having 12 gram. So this much will be having how much? Same we will be doing for the hydrogen. Once we find the mass of the carbon and hydrogen, we take the sum, find their percentage. Percentage means percentage of carbon, like whatever the mass of the carbon given divided by the total mass of the compound into 100. That is coming 92.1%, as only hydrogen is there except carbon. So we will be taking the difference from 100 and we will find the percentage of hydrogen. Now we find the percentage, so we will be writing it 92.1, 7.9. Their masses 12 and 1 respectively. Then we take the ratio, that is 92.1 divided by 12, 7.9, sorry, 7.9 divided by 1. So it will be coming 7.7 and it will be coming 7.9. The smaller one is 7.7, so we will be dividing both the value with 7.7. So in both the cases approximate, it is coming equivalent to 1 each. So when 1 each it is coming, so empirical formula is ready, that is CH. Okay, simple. So same method we have applied. So like you can see, when this type of the question is there, we have find the empirical formula by finding the percentage of the elements first, and then we can calculate easily. Now what is left? That we have to find the molecular formula also. No Weber density, no molar mass directly given. So what we are going to use? We are going to use the mole concept here, that is volume mass relationship under STP condition. Now if you see the STP condition is going to be there, that under STP condition what is given to you, that is 10 liter of the gas. They are considering this compound as a gas. 10 liter of the gas is having a mass of 11.6 gram. Okay, this is the volume 10 liter and the mass is 11.6. But if you have to find the molar mass, then volume must be under STP condition, it should be 22.4 liter. So we will use same volume, that is 22.4 liter. So in 22.4 liter, the mass is going to be 11.6 divided by 10 and multiply by 22.4, which is coming approximately 25.9. So it means this is going to be our molar mass. Okay. Now once we find the molar mass, we have to find the value of N, which is the molar mass 25.9, which we have find, divided by empirical formula mass. Empirical formula 12 plus 1, that is coming 13. So we will divide it with 13. Now this value will be coming 1.9 something. So again we have to round off here. It will be coming 2. Okay. So once the value is coming 2, it means that we can find our molecular formula, that is equivalent to empirical formula whole twice, because the value of N is 2. So it will be CH whole twice, or we can write C2H2. C2H2, we all know it is known as ethine. Okay, and it's a gas like acetylene. We also use the name for this. Okay, so you understand how we find the molecular formula. We use the concept of the volume and the mass relationship under STP condition. 10 liter is having this much mass, that is given. So we find in 22.4 liter, which is equivalent to the molar mass. Once we find that, we can calculate all the things. We can find the value of N, we can find molecular formula, that's it. So these are some examples of the questions which we have done today, so which used to come. Problems will be problems when you are going to solve, like that. Just see the relationships, just see the equation whether it is balanced or not. In the case of empirical formula, molecular formula, what is required, just see that what is required, then only go for the procedure. Okay, like we did here, because we require the element mass first, so we calculate it first. Okay, so that's it for today. So that is all for the mole concept, whatever we did. Now you can watch the previous videos also. Just click on the previous videos also and then go through the whole mole concept and then only solve these types of the questions. Okay, if any problem, then in the next video please make your comment on the comment box. Okay, thank you everyone, goodbye, see you in the next video.